Hey, what's good, people? What's good? What's good? Hey, Sean. Sean, you paying attention, bro? Look at him.
I think Sean knows right here. There we
Oh,
go.
There you go.
man,
There you
Am I
go.
paying attention? Am I
Hey.
paying attention?
Hey, see, look, guys, we
Yeah.
go through things before we go live. We didn't even say sync up the buffs, but it happened,
Buffed
bro.
up.
That's my co-host there, man, Mr. Sean Murphy. No, I'm sorry, Sean Murphy.
We buffed up, ladies and gentlemen.
Kanye West. Let's get it.
How we
Let's
doing,
get it.
man? It's good to be here. It's good to see everybody.
Yep,
JD,
yep.
it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I didn't say it before.
Nice meeting you too.
Thank you so
Yep.
much for being here. Abe, it's a pleasure. Laz, you know I love you. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
And Deuce, you're my boy. So let's roll,
Hey,
baby.
one of the regulars, man. But hey, look, let's get right into it. We got JD here. We're gonna get into some interesting stuff. The Pistons competition and Pistons Twitter world and Pistons world in general. JD has been around, and he's kept us busy with some
Way
competitions and such. Way long as he says. I didn't want to say that because I don't want anybody to say it about me either. But I get it. Yeah, he's one of the OGs.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yep.
And he's been successfully kind of running this Pistons over under competition, or kind of being the the watchdog over it, making sure this thing is shepherded along, and it's been fun, man.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Look, we had a lot of the big people from Pistons Twitter in it over the years, a lot of the fans, and you want to stay tuned. You want to be a part of the summer edition, and we're gonna have some giveaways to those that do participate. So you want to stay tuned. But first, guys, we got to get into this free agency, man. We got Marvin Bagley, 3 years, $37 million. Hey, I see the look on Sean's face. And we also have Kevin Knox, 2 years, $6 million. That one's interesting. I don't really know what to make of it yet. I know we got Abe on. He's like Detroit everything except for sports, man. Talk to us, man. Talk to us.
I'm a New Yorker, right? I'm a born and bred New York City. That's who I am. That's who I'll always be. Kevin Knox is a great signing for the Pistons, and let me tell you why.
Yes, please.
For your 15th man off the bench, you want that guy that can look real good in that sub jersey. You want that guy that can pump. Kevin Knox is it. If they had an all-star game,
talk to him, man.
Fist pumps and handing out cups of water. Kevin Knox, we're talking supermax deals. You could not ask for a better guy.
How is he with the towel?
Yeah,
need some work.
You do as well.
Good question. Good question.
I think I need to go into business with Abe because
there we go.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you convincing, man.
He got traded because of the towel thing.
It's like how well can he make sure Cade has like as little sweat on him as possible?
Right.
And I have this from credible sources. The NBA is actually changing the rules around a little bit, so Kevin Knox can actually attach himself to Cade's hip. So actually, while during the game, he can just be rubbing it off. That sounded no homo. He would just be rubbing it off for him as the game's going on.
He's just like, here you go.
6.5. I like it.
Water.
All right.
Here you go, Cade.
So he's going to rub off Cade during the game. What else is he going to? I mean, no, all right. In all seriousness,
That's $6
listen,
million
this is
worth
2 years, $6 million. I saw people say on Twitter that they hate this deal. I mean, why? Like, listen, like seriously, like legitimately, like, what is the worst thing that $3 million cap hit gives us? I mean, this is a guy that you're talking about that, like if this is a true Troy Weaver reclamation project where worst comes to worst, if he sucks, he doesn't play much time for us. It's fine. We can ultimately trade him. It's $3 million. It's ultimately.
You probably can't trade him. Nobody really wants Kevin Knox.
You
don't
can
have to cut
include him with somebody else.
There you go. Kevin Knox needs some salary.
Like Abe was saying, he can attach to Cade, but he can also attach to another player in a trade.
Right.
That works.
22.
Exactly. If he can give you flashes during the season, if he gives you a few games where Kevin Knox looks like the Kevin Knox in his rookie year, where he looked like that promising young player for the Knicks, great. If he doesn't, that's fine because he was only signed for $3 million.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It is low risk, possible reward.
I was
Yeah,
waiting.
nothing to get-
What was over his
The
tweet? I was
second
like,
part of
what
that
is
is
second?
questionable. The
I
reward
said
is
possible.
questionable. Like, as
know.
someone who was really interested in Kevin Knox when he was drafted, right? Like, I think he went what, ninth? Let's check
Bro.
that
Somewhere in
real-
there.
Can
Yeah, he went ninth.
concur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as someone who was like, I didn't think he should go that high, but like at Kentucky, you could see like why people were thinking about him as a lottery pick. And then it's like I kept an eye on him throughout the years. He was on some really bad Knicks teams, but at the same time, like he never like made a mark on the game. There would be nights where he made some shots, and then there would be a lot more nights where he just didn't make any shots and didn't really have any impact on the game.
Yeah.
And so, as someone who's really hoping the Pistons used their, 7 digits of cap space to get some guys who could shoot the ball a little bit better and with a little bit of size, like Kevin Knox is that, like in the abstract, but like in reality, like this probably doesn't mean a whole lot. I'll be really curious to see if there's like a team option in the second year or something, right?
Yep.
If he got like the same
Yeah.
deal that Frank Jackson got, where it's like, 1 year, like if you shoot 40% from 3, like cool, we'll keep you. If you shoot 30% from 3, like thank you for playing, like it was nice to meet you. It's like, if that's what it is, they're like, sure, I guess you could do it. There I don't know if there's like much worse guys you could be doing this with, but like I'm sure there's somebody worse out there.
Yeah.
I guess just thinking
Yeah.
back to last summer, I probably had a similar reaction to the Trey Lyle deal,
Mm-hmm.
and that turned out okay. So once again, that little possibility.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm with,
even the Josh Jackson signing, right? I mean, even when we signed him back in the day, very similar signing of like what kind of value can he bring? Very much,
Mhm.
very similar prospect of like where he was brought in at the time. I mean, the difference was Josh Jackson was a much higher draft pick and was brought in perceived with a much higher ceiling. I don't think, I'm not saying I think Kevin Knox will be the Josh Jackson type redemption story where he'll come back and ultimately be someone that like we can, ultimately use in a trade piece and see his value rise in his time in Detroit. But like, I mean, again, I just think this is I think this is the type of signing that you're just going to see Troy Weaver just periodically make. Like, even in the midst of, I think this is a year that the Pistons are going to try to win more games. I don't think we're like tanking this season by any stretch of the imagination, but like that doesn't mean that like even in the midst of Troy Weaver having more of the pieces of his core, more of the crucial pieces of what we're building, that in addition he can still have a project or something that could potentially take the rebuild to another level if it does work out, because that's the
Right.
type of thinking that he does have. It's like, here's this on the back burner. Let's see what it got. Let's see what it does. Let's see where it takes us,
I think it's very
Just out of curiosity, does anybody know if the second year is a team option?
Let me see
I
if
don't
I can
know.
let me reach out to James Edwards III and see if he can do
Please
something
do.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My intern,
you know what?
James Edwards III. I'm kidding.
And just to
Yeah.
add on, the interesting thing about these signings that Troy makes is it doesn't really matter the value that we see. It just doesn't. It doesn't really matter. How many of us thought that Trey Lyles and Josh Jackson would ever be anywhere near the value commensurate to get a Marvin Bagley?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Troy Weaver has on these other GMs, but I when I see a sign like Kevin Knox and we talk about the value that he may have, or if other players may or may not want him, when you talk about a throw-in on a deal for like a Marvin Bagley, hey, it's dope, man. It looks like the comments getting overran right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious, but whatever.
no,
There's
I'm with
no value in that right now. We're gonna talk about the value here. I do believe that.
Hey, that's great value. What are you talking? It's cheap. it's cheap. What kind of deal are you saying we're missing? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm saying that Kevin Knox one is obviously the deal, but no, ultimately, with the deal like this, I don't think anybody should look at these signings, these draft picks, these moves that Troy Weaver makes in any type of a vacuum. He's proven that his deals, there are future deals that are going to come from these things, man. There's puzzle pieces that fit together that form ultimately his vision. And anybody, you know what I'm saying? Sean, you're cracking me up,
My
dog.
favorite comment. Pistons
know.
should sign sex bot. That's my
I know.
favorite comment.
Wow.
This is killing me right now. Absolutely.
All
killing
right,
me.
we're good.
I'm cracking
We're good.
up.
All right, we're good.
But no, I mean, ultimately, look, if anybody's up in arms about signing Kevin Knox, bro, seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like, just it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Oh, sure.
From somebody that doesn't follow the Pistons the same way you guys do, that someone that root for the Pistons the same way you guys do, seeing it from an outsider, seeing what Troy Weaver is doing, it's very clear that he has a game plan, and everything he does is with purpose. This isn't when Josh Smith was the best free agent and you had all this cap space and let's just go sign the biggest guy because we have all this space. This isn't Charlie Villanueva and Ben Gordon situation all over again. We got the space. Let's just sign guys that we can give all this money to. There's a clear path to what he's planning on doing, and it might not be next year, but you can see the trajectory of his game plan of what he wants to do. Yeah. And from a national perspective, it's very impressive, because the truth is you're not going to attract high marquee free agents. It's just not a city built for that. It's not New York, LA, Chicago, Miami. Guys don't say, oh, Detroit, that's a place I just need to be. I want to live in that city. There's very few people like that. And I'm not trying to knock the city at all, but it's not one of these high marquee cities. Look at Minnesota, right? Karl Anthony Towns, superstar, top 3 center in the NBA in the last decade. How many free agents has he been able to attract? How much has Minnesota been able to do? But Troy Weaver is showing that being a smart GM, being able to bring in the right pieces, draft the right guys, and make the right trades is how you're going to really build this organization.
Well, I mean, let's look at the common denominators, right? The Kevin Durant situation reports that he wants to be traded. The 2 teams that are on a short list are the Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns. What those 2 teams have in common are not the fact that they're in warm weather destinations. It's the fact that they have situations that can offer him a place to go win now and contend for basketball games and win titles. And that's going to be the thing that at the end of the day, that NBA players are ultimately going to look at when in free agency. I mean, we saw a lot of guys like Bobby Portis, Nicholas Batum, a lot of these veteran pieces sign back to these teams that they're trying to go win and contend games with. That's going to be the thing that's ultimately going to get us to attract and get stars to come to Detroit, is the prospect of playing with a guy like Cade Cunningham. And a lot of people were like, oh, well, Kevin Durant, he could come play with Cade. He doesn't want to come play with a 22-year-old Cade Cunningham. He wants to come play with like a 25-year-old Cade Cunningham who's grown and developing his game. And it's at the point when like we're actually ready to win some games. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be realistic with this. So, I just think like people are like talking about, it's like, yes, Detroit has not historically been a free agent destination, but in the modern NBA, the way you become a free agent destination, you'll win some games, you build a program. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, and honestly, to Abe's point, I understand he was speaking more to the perception, and there's still players who come here to Detroit, they sign here, and we heard Cade and Ashton even say, yo, we didn't know it was this great, man. You got to be here to kind of really experience it.
It's true.
And, when the weather also doesn't help you, with some of these players, it takes some time to really break that stigma. But to what Sean's saying, with what Troy is doing, when you build something competent, people do want to be there, because ultimately these are the most high-level, high-talented competitors on the planet, and they want to win ultimately. Yeah. And with what we know Detroit has to offer, with what we know how great the whole state of Michigan is, yeah, we're gonna sit here and say I'm gonna bash anybody that wants to try and come in here and talk about the city. But I get the perspective, man. I get it from outsiders. But I'm glad that we actually have a GM. He should be governor. Let him take over the whole state, because he's got the Pistons to this good point, and he has people looking at the state and the city a little bit different, man. They're sitting here saying, you know what? I can see myself playing next to Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
See myself playing in Detroit. Even draft picks. Like, yeah, you know what? I want to go to Detroit. I ain't working out for nobody but the number 1 team and Detroit. That's crazy when you think about how this culture, it was not here in years prior underneath other GMs.
Yep.
No, for sure.
Go ahead, Les.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you do have to respect the culture. I wonder about the opportunity cost, right? Like Knox is like the 14th, 15th guy. It's like, could you get a different 14th, 15th guy that might be able to actually give you something? But like maybe, you know, like we didn't expect a lot out of Rodney McGruder, right? But Rodney McGruder had played stretches where he played well. It's like, could you see something like that for Kevin Knox? Like maybe, it's possible. It's on the table. But I'm like more curious about Marvin Bagley. I didn't realize we'd be open the show with 15 minutes of Kevin Knox talk. That's not what I expected.
It's crazy, man.
We're
It's
just
crazy.
knocking on heaven's door, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we gotta do.
Look, that's the perfect segue. But I think it matters just because Troy's deals, they do matter, man. Look, if this was a previous GM, we wouldn't care. But since we know that Trey Lyles and Trey Lyles and Josh Jackson can turn into a player we just gave 3 years and $37 million to, and I see people here, they already in the comments about that. Marvin Bagley. You know, we had to talk about Kevin Knox because who knows it. None of us be sitting here surprised if Troy flipped him for another rotation piece. So, you know, but Marvin Bagley, 3 years, $37 million, getting roughly about what Kelly Olynyk is getting. They're both to great estimations, power forwards. I don't see how they both exist here. That's kind of the red flag to me, or the first flag that goes up. But what do you all think it means overall for Marvin Bagley? His fit, his role on this team, you know, starter, bench, backup 4. Can he play some center? You know, what are you looking to see from him now?
I like him as a backup 4. I don't see him as a starter, at least not right away. I think he is going to be here, though. I don't think he's going to be somebody that's going to be flipped. The deal has no options, no player option, no team option. So it's a 3-year deal, and it's clear cut. So I think he can be a great player off of our bench. I don't see him as a starter. I think he needs to work a little bit defensively with his instincts and his interior presence. But I do think he can be a solid piece off our bench as a power forward, the first power forward off the bench for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I think anyone that's like saying, "Oh, like this is such a bad deal, we're just like overpaid," is that? I just think this is just semantics. I mean, first of all, he played 18 games for us last year. In his 18 games, he showed value. He showed what he brought to the Pistons. I think this is another upside versus, you know, what he brings right now type of signing, where you hope that Marvin Bagley continues to improve. You hope that he continues to show the value and reasons why he was selected number 2 overall. I think you're not going to have the opportunity to add many better players at that price in this free agency pool that can bring the value that Marvin Bagley brings day one, in my opinion. I mean, there's guys out there. I'm not saying there isn't a class of players, but
Like,
Laz is like, I don't know.
Okay, so about that.
Talk
right?
to us, Laz. Preach to us, man.
So it's day one, right? It's
Set us
day one
right.
of free agency. Nick Claxton, 2 years, $20 million, right? That's cheaper than Marvin Bagley. Isaiah Hartenstein, 2 years, $18 million. That's cheaper than Marvin Bagley. Chris Boucher, 3 years, $35 million. That's about the same. Like I'll give you that one. That's about the same. He can shoot though. Bobby Portis, 4 years, $49 million. That's a special edge case. Like Bobby Portis helped the city of Milwaukee win a championship. He's good in the hood.
Yeah,
there.
it's like
it's
that's a
fine.
thank you payment. That's like a
Right.
thank you for what you've done for us contract.
Right. Mo Bamba, 2 years, $21 million, right? And so it does kind of, and like that's 10 mil. So it does kind of, and like JaVale, we're not going to talk about JaVale's contract. JaVale's contract is kind of ridiculous. We're not going to talk about that.
I mean, but it's
like,
12.5. It's 12.5
yeah.
a year. I know it's a big number because it's like the 37 million, but it equates to about 12.5 a year.
So 12.5 isn't really the issue. The issue is 3 years, right? Like with 3 years and no options, as Deuce pointed out. Oh, what up, King?
Hey, King.
King!
Hey.
My king, my knight in shining armor, my man.
What's going on?
Good, brother.
Hey.
Oh man, just trying to get through it. A lot of work being done over these last couple of weeks, man. Troy Weaver is definitely giving us our full share.
He's keeping us busy, man.
Yep.
But
Laz was just filling us in on his thoughts on the Bagley move. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I do have a question to ask you when you're done, Laz.
Okay. No, I was basically done. Is a year too long? You wish that last year was a team option. Maybe we get some details later where it's like, hey, he makes $14 million in year one, like $11 million in year two, and like $10 million in year three, and like then you feel a little bit better about it.
Yeah,
but
I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I struggle to see a world in which like Marvin Bagley makes 12.5 million, and you like if you wake up one day and you absolutely got to trade him, like it's easy to do so, right?
Mhm.
So we'll see about that. But go ahead. What were you gonna
Right.
say?
No, because you brought up an interesting point. Look, I know it's not really a lot to cry about with the contract, but I think it's disingenuous to get on here if there are points to be raised and not raise them. And there are some other contracts that present some pretty good points here, you know. And one of the names that was interesting was Mo Bamba. I don't know the prospects of us really being able to get him, but he was one of the intriguing big man, free agency options that I was hoping the Pistons could be in on. I didn't know what his price would be. I know we talked about it on several of the pods, and it was kind of all over the place. We saw reports where he was getting up there in the 15 to 18 M a year range, and then we saw some reports where it was low, like 7 to 12 M a year. You know, and so to see what he actually got, what was it again?
It
Last
was 2 years, 21 million.
221, yeah.
2 and 21.
So like 11-ish,
Jeez.
call it.
2.5 a year.
Yeah, that's man, yeah, that's a great value from Obama.
That's
I
not
think
bad.
that's really good value for him.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I'm
think
not
that's
gonna the Marvin Bagley deal. I think it's slightly if you wanted to call it an overpay, but it's like it's value, man. What are you gonna do about it? It's not gonna cap the team out or anything. I believe when you look at culture, when you look at fit, when you look at the intrinsic things that go beyond like a player's skill, like how they mesh with the players, what Cade Cunningham might want around here. If Cade has a certain chemistry already with him and he knows, hey, for at least 20 minutes a game, we can definitely abuse the pick and roll. We know we can do this. You know what I'm saying? Then I guess that gives you the elevation. With Mo Bamba, what was he, restricted free agent?
So actually, they declined his option, so he was technically unrestricted.
Oh,
so that's what made it surprising that Orlando brought him back.
That's the only reason why I've been sitting here like trying to go like, well, okay, but I don't know, man. Mo Bamba was the one for me that I was like, you know what? If they don't pursue Marvin Bagley, I wanted to see them go after somebody who I thought was a big man who plays tenacious inside and can stretch the floor a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that might have fit a little bit better with the team overall, but I don't know. I guess the rim running, the camaraderie, the chemistry, whatever they believe he can be once he actually gets his legs under him, maybe they know what they have in Marvin Bagley. But I don't know, the Mo Bamba one, that's probably the one that I wanted them to kick the tires on.
Yeah. The thing I will say with Bagley is just we saw what happened in limited games with him and Cade, the connection that was there. So I think with an offseason, with them two being able to really mesh and really understand where they like to have the ball, where understanding where Bagley likes the ball in its spots, I think what you said, Kool-Aid, was profound. Cade may have had something to do with that. They say, hey, I've got some chemistry with this guy. I really think his ceiling is a lot higher than people think. So let's just see what we can get out of this guy of a 42-game season. So I'm not too upset with it. I think we can see Bagley next year better than what we saw last year, being able to really gel with his teammates and really understand what's going on here.
And here's the other thing also. And you talk about how that 30 years really, really what bothers you. At that price point in a couple of years from now, the Pistons might be that one big piece away where they're in a trade market for a high price, big name guy where you might need to even the money out. And that $12 million might be the throw in to even things out. Maybe for an example, maybe Damian Lillard is that guy that they see can take him from an 8 seed to a 2 seed type of guy. And if that's the move you need to make, and you have Marvin Bagley sitting there with that $12 million a year to kind of even out the money, because in the NBA you got to do that. Mm-hmm. I think that could be another thought process in the crazy mind of Troy Weaver going on also.
You never know with Troy.
That's very true.
Yeah,
King,
he has been. Oh, go ahead.
My bad, JD. I wanted to just know what King thought about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, solid, fair deal, man. I like I said, with Bagley, I just want to see him improve. I want to see him, work on his body a little bit better. I want to see him develop that chemistry a little bit better. Like I said, speaking on the Mo Bamba situation, Mo Bamba is another guy that, I was considering, hey, man, the Pistons probably should take a look at him, because Mo Bamba is a guy, to me, I feel like that needs a change of scenery, just like Bagley did. So, like I said, if, for the deal that they, took him back on, it's obviously you get some good value there. But, yeah, Mo, I can agree with Kool-Aid, man. Mo Bamba was he was probably one of the third or fourth guy on my list that I want the Pistons to go after as far as defense. He's actually a world's better defender than Ayton. Ayton, like I said, averaging 0.7 blocks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, with Jalen Duren in the roster, though, like, isn't that just kind of like like a moot point?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, things changed after draft night.
Right, exactly. Things did
Draft
change.
changed
for that.
free agency.
Yes. But out of all of the guys that we mentioned, Mo Bamba probably is the best shooter out of all of them. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he can stretch the floor. That's the difference between all of them. And like, I would have took that, but I'm happy with what we did so far. I don't want Troy Weaver to do nothing spectacular this offseason. And I'm glad he went ahead and did the true rebuild process instead of getting antsy and pushing buttons like we've always done here in Detroit. So it was fun to see.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. And I'm glad that Troy said his mantra, his job is to restore. Obviously we got to have the shirt is always on standby right here, but he says he's not moving at anybody's pace too fast or too slow. He's going to do this thing the right way. And that's what we can all appreciate about Troy Weaver, because the right way doesn't necessarily mean the perfect way. You want a GM who, when he gets into a mess, he can get himself out of a mess. When he, gets himself into a contract that might not be the most favorable, or a deal that's not looking like it's trending the right way, you want him to get out. Obviously, Josh Jackson was a feel-good story. We wanted him to be able to work out here and pan out here in Detroit. He did a lot of good things in his short time here in the city, and I know he's always done things in Detroit, but he ramped it up when he was a Piston. And it wasn't like it was a deal that was going to cripple the Pistons. You kick the tires, you see what it is, and then all of a sudden, for a player that normally you just let whisk away into free agency, or you just cut because it's not going to mean nothing, he actually found a way to flip him in a deal with Trey Lyles. I'm gonna keep saying that, obviously, because we're talking about Marvin Bagley, but that type of stuff matters to me, man. It really does. So yeah. I don't know, man. This free agency is going to be an interesting one, because you could say, based on what Troy Weaver has said, that they're kind of done. What else is there to really look at in this free agency? Next year's free agency and draft presents some interesting things, but I wouldn't be sitting here surprised if Troy went and signed somebody in like a sign and trade for some big deal, some max level type player. Is there some way that you guys see free agency going from here, or do you think it's kind of mellowed out?
I think Troy is going to kind of stand pat here. I think he understands timing, and I think he understands we're not ready to contend yet. I think my ideal situation for the Pistons is maybe 2 years from now, you got the stars watching Pistons play and they're saying they're me away from being a contender. They're me away from being a championship team. We're not there yet. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think stars are looking at themselves and saying, if they add me to that team, we'll be a championship level team. And I think that can happen in a couple of years, allowing this team to grow organically together. And then a couple of years from now, adding that one piece that puts us over the top.
I will say one guy that's out on the market that I'd like to see the Pistons see if they could take a swing at. I'm not sure what his price would be, but Dante DiVincenzo is an unrestricted free agent because the Kings did not give him a quantifying offer, and that's a piece that I've always really liked. And at the right price, I think could bring a decent amount of value, decent shooter, defensive end, could be stout. I mean, we saw him play pretty good basketball at times for Milwaukee. So that's somebody that I would love to see us possibly pursue in free agency. I'm not sure if he's a guy that's going to, want to go to a winner, or what his market's going to look like. But I mean, I like him a lot. So that'd be certainly someone I'd like to see us pursue.
For sure.
I'm wondering if the Burks acquisition is going to change their thinking as far as going for another wing. But that would be interesting. Even as a Michigan fan, I do appreciate Dante DiVincenzo, even though he killed us in 2018.
The Alex deal is going under the radar. He's a guy that he can create on his own when necessary, and can also be a catch and shoot guy for Cade. Like, he's going to play a very important role on this roster for this year, and he has the ability to be a winner. Sean doesn't agree with me.
Well, I'm just like, I don't know. I think he has the opportunity to come in and like earn some playing time, but like this is a guy who like over the last couple of years is like averaging like 3 or 4 points. Like like outside of his rookie year, I just don't know if we've seen enough to say he's gonna come in and play an important role and be a
Alec
catch and shoot
Burks?
guy next to Cade.
Burks has been good the last couple of years.
Oh, I apologize.
yeah.
I apologize. I thought
Yes.
you were talking about Kevin Knox.
Okay.
Oh, no, no.
Yes.
No,
yes. That's
I
not what we're
wasn't
talking
with
about.
You
it.
devoted
I was
enough
like,
time to him.
I was like,
Yeah.
Kevin Knox. I'm like, what did this guy? I'm like, Burks is
Nah,
solid.
Abe's
okay,
talking
that,
about
I'm
the
with
other
you
Knicks
there.
dudes
My
we got
bad.
this offseason.
Right.
Holy Gee, wow.
Exactly, Lad.
Yeesh, I'm bad.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No. Alec Burks, Sean. If you need me to say his name again, it's Alec Burks.
Alec Burks. Yeah,
Yeah.
talk about a guy.
That
Yeah,
guy.
what an important role he's going to play next to Cade next year. Real catch and shoot guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, sources tell me he's a lot better than Kevin Knox.
So Justin, that comment that Justin brought up is like that's actually really illuminating as to like why people are like kind of okay with this. Yeah,
This one?
there we go.
All right.
Yeah. So the reason Bagley makes half as much is because he only plays half the floor, right? Like John Collins is like a average to slightly above average like NBA defender at the power forward position, and Bagley like just hasn't been that, and that's why John Collins makes 25 million and Marvin Bagley makes 12, right?
Right.
Like, and John Collins can shoot, right? If Marvin Bagley could shoot 34% from three on like half decent volume, like I would love this a lot more actually. I mean, the Pistons
Laz is
need
going
more
to be in
guys
the
who can
NBA
stretch the
front
floor.
office one day.
Nah, I blew my chance.
Smart as heck, man. For real. Continue on, man. My bad. I just had to throw out some roses real quick, bro.
No, I appreciate it, but no, like that. That's the difference between guy. Like that's why you can't just look at like Basketball Reference and be like, this guy's worth X and this guy's worth Y.
Yep.
Because like that stuff doesn't always get captured accurately by box score statistics.
No, but they have the other guy from the Knicks trade, Nerlens Noel. He's the complete opposite of Marvin Bagley, where
Exactly.
he can't do a damn thing. He shoots right-handed, but it looks left-handed. He's just incompetent like that. But defensively, he's impeccable. He's the very definition of a rim protector. Like that's the guy, especially in today's NBA, where you don't need to be 7'3", Boban by whatever that ugly looking dude from whatever country he's from. The guy that's like 7'11". You know what I'm talking about in every commercial and movie now. You don't need to be that
you
big of a.
leave Boban Marjanovic out of this, you son of a gun.
Just
I was
legend.
waiting for it.
Boban's family. Don't talk about Boban.
Yeah,
Yeah, we love
Boban,
Boban.
he is a former Piston.
He's great. He's great.
You shall not. Do you understand me? Damn it!
I meant
Fine, I felt that in my chest, bro. I felt it in my soul.
Very
That was some Lord of the Rings right there, but I don't care, man.
But at first, but I looked up first, like, oh wait, that's just
Yeah, the acoustics. What's going on?
I thought the sky was breaking open, bro.
I went for it on that one.
But anyway, Nerlens Noel is going to play that defensive in today's NBA, can guard out on the perimeter, can be a rim protector, can do all those things on the defensive side of the ball, and you don't have to worry about him on offense. Just don't even let him touch the ball. Where Marvin Bagley, like you said, he doesn't even know what the other half of the court looks like defensively. Just, he's that kid when you play like in the 7th grade that just stays on the other side of the court and just cherry picks. Like he's that guy on offense. Just stay over there. We'll keep, like I said before, with Knox playing the 6th man alongside Cade, 6th guy in the court, not actually 6th man off the bench. You put
important role.
Yeah, you split Noel and Bagley, and you keep one on the offensive side, one on the defensive side, and you have one really solid player.
This is where basketball needs to be more like hockey, where you can just line change, you can just sub dudes in and out, and so that way, like Stewart never has to play offense and Bagley never has to play defense, and then all of a sudden, like we got something cooking.
Speaking of Boban, Bo Cruz got released today.
I see the shout out. Bo Cruz?
Bo Cruz got released.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
22 years old.
Waste of a 2nd overall pick. You hate to see it.
Man, oh man.
What is with Nerlens Noel? I want to talk about that signing there. Obviously, Troy Weaver has connection to him going back to what OKC days, and it's an interesting signing because I believe if he plays, if he can really give us something, he instantly becomes our best defensive big.
Easily.
He's like, easily. So what can we expect from Nerlens? Is he going to be on the court? Is this just something to flip at the deadline? Is Troy really, really looking at what he can bring as a veteran presence now?
To me,
let's definitely get these thoughts. Kick it off, Sean.
To me, it's having a veteran in the locker room that can kind of be like that break glass in case of emergency big. Kind of like, if something's, if Duren and Stu are struggling, if the young guys, if they need that kind of calming veteran presence to come in and be that stable figure, because like you said, what Nerlens Noel is. Like I had to correct Spenny Racks yesterday when he said, I think Nerlens Noel is going to start. I was like, no. But Nerlens Noel is not going to be starting on this team. I think ideally the hope would be I would imagine that he's going to be our backup big day one. Duren is probably going to be our third string big. And I think ideally you would want to see Noel become our third string big at some point in the middle of the season. So in my opinion, I think he's kind of here to, while Duren is kind of getting his touches, while he's really kind of developing, there's not that pressure. We have Noel in stretches and situations and also, quite frankly, let's be honest, just so that we don't have to have a situation where a guy like Trey Lyles has to be our center for 2 months. So, I just think having that in case of emergency, in case of injury, in case of necessity, and again, just to have a veteran that can be there to be a voice and, someone that Troy Weaver trusts and clearly likes. So, and knows what that culture is about.
Like Corey Joseph, Sean, that's
I was waiting for
well,
that.
yeah, like I even said on the stream, I was like, say what you will about like Corey Joseph, but like, let's be honest, it's nice to know, like, if we're down 20, that we don't have to have Killian Hayes in there having his confidence getting crapped on. You know what I mean? You could throw Corey in there and all those garbage minutes. You can have him come in and be the calming force. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is value to that.
Question here, man. What does this mean for Kelly O?
Yeah, I think Kelly O is gone. Personally, I don't see a world where there is even any room for him. I think Sean kind of agrees. I think Troy has shown that he definitely wants to be a more defensive team at this point, and Kelly O just couldn't stay healthy this year, this past season. So I think that's a big part of it too. I just don't see a role for him. We talked about before the Noel signing, because if you guys remember, the Pistons were debating on Nerlens Noel and Kelly O.
Yeah, I'm just pouring some water out for Kelly O.
Yeah, I was doing the funeral, like the tribute salute.
Right.
The
yeah, pour some water out for him. Yeah, I just don't. I think before the Noel signing, you may have said that Kelly O would have been that veteran presence, but now that we have a defensive presence who also was a veteran, I don't see a role for Kelly O at all now.
I mean, right now Kelly is the only big man on the roster that we know for sure can stretch the floor, and so you would like to have. You'd like to be able to replace him with somebody else who could also do that. Nerlens can't really do that. We hope Stu gets to that point, but he hasn't been able to prove it so far. Like Duren, I think that's way too much to expect from him right away. And Bagley shoots threes, but they don't go in. So it kind of is what it is. It's just like I would love to keep Kelly O around, but I understand if you don't want to hold 5 centers, that makes sense to me.
Is it just me, or does Kelly Olynyk look like a guy that takes horse and buggy to every game because historically he's not allowed to go on electronics and ride vehicles?
No, he's the guy that solely travels on a longboard.
Yeah, boogie board. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, he's the guy that travels on a longboard and tells you about CrossFit and why vegan is ultimately the diet that you should be on.
Yeah, he always gave me that Amish look. I always felt it. I always felt like he'd come into the locker room with those big black hats.
Wow.
Kelly,
yeah, I don't see
I agree with this though, man. He is about the only one that can consistently shoot that three, but what is he really, really, really gonna give trade for John Collins? I don't know how. Yeah.
Remember the timeline, people, man. Listen, this is the Pistons had the type of draft that they didn't expect to have, where they got two of their favorite players on the board, but they also got two of the younger players on the board. And with that, they're going to have to
Super
take
young
time to develop and learn to play together. And Jalen Duren's going to need time to develop. Jaden Ivey's going to need time to get acclimated to the NBA game. Cade's going to have to grow year 2. Like, in my opinion, it's just, to say like, oh, this team, like, let's go get John Collins. Let's go get Kevin Durant. Let's go get this big star. Like, it's just not in the cards for this team, man. Not for what they're doing. It's clear
Y'all heard
that
it here first. Sean said we're going after Kevin Durant.
I'll
There you
take.
go.
We're going after
KD.
Cade Cunningham workout partner Kevin Durant.
Right. That's
Yeah.
all we need to know,
There, man.
right?
Everybody
That's all we
knows
need to
there's
know.
about to be future Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't that how it usually works? But I saw some questions in here, man. I guess before we get into the over/under competition for summer, who are people most excited to see in summer league, man? Other than Ivy.
Gotta
Is it
be
just a
Durant.
given that like everybody's answer was going to be Ivy?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I know they put Cade and Sadiq on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to make it a little bit more difficult for y'all, man. I know-
Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Sean.
Yeah.
See?
I want to see livers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to see
Yep.
livers.
Yep.
Give
That's
me-
who. Go
give
ahead,
me-
Sean.
Give me some fourth quarter Killian Hayes minutes, man. I want to see Killian Hayes running the offense and being the number one option in the summer league and some points. I want to see Killian get some run.
I want to see him and Durant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
That
what
is-
we good parent.
That's definitely something I'm curious about as well. Because like I remember when Killian was playing in Germany, like they had like sort of a lob, like Gavin Schilling was on his team, and like that was like their big like pick and roll lob partner. And it's like that's not gonna cut it. And we gets here his rookie year, and it's like Mason Plumlee, and then he gets hurt, and then it's Isaiah Stewart, and it's like It's like now he's finally got a dude he can just like throw the ball to the top square, be like go get it, and he can actually get it. So I'll be really curious to see how that plays
Excuse me,
out.
do you mean Plum Dog Millionaire?
I
Not
do mean
Mason
Plum Dog
Plumlee,
Millionaire.
Plum Dog Millionaire.
I mean,
Thank you very
top
much.
5
Triple-double
NBA rapper
machine.
Mason Plumlee, absolutely.
Yeah, they saying well, Killian back in summer league. Yeah. They got the
Yeah,
they got
the
that official
roster.
roster release. Let me see here.
Oh, somebody said Perchita. Perchita's not on the summer league roster right now, so
Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna see him. Sadly,
A's in Italy.
But it did. There was a little asterisk on the post that said subject to change. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, obviously because the Duren trade hadn't gone through, so he's not on the
Yeah.
roster.
mm-hmm.
And then there are some guys that I do wonder, like Cade, if he's actually going to play or if he's just going to be down there.
Yeah, there's
practicing.
no chance he suits up, right?
No,
Like,
Cade-
It's
Cade-
5 minutes
look,
of game 1. And he's
Cade's
done.
gonna get the Gary Harris. I'll never forget this.
Yeah.
Gary Harris played like the first 10 minutes of
Mhm.
summer league game, his 3rd year, scored like 20 points in 10 minutes. They were like, nope, okay,
Yep.
you're
Good
done.
done.
Like,
Okay.
cool,
Good to
excellent. It was like you can play. It was like
I'm-
good.
Kevin Knox can get down there and really work on that towel game during summer league.
That's what we need to see. That's what we need to see.
He's still only
There we
23.
go.
He still fits.
go. Wait.
I'm with King though. I definitely want to see livers, man.
Yeah, I wanna
Cool.
see
We
livers.
talked about this yesterday, I believe, or a couple of days ago, and just thinking about. I think his year 2 jump is going to be very surprising. I'm thinking about what he did last year in year 1 as a rookie coming off of an injury. He came into the league and set the league on fire, man. I mean, his jumper was wet. He was making plays that veterans play. He didn't hurt your team. He was cutting. He was making the right passes. He didn't look lost on defense. So I think year 2 for him having a full training camp is going to be really, really good for him and really surprising for a lot of Pistons fans.
Our bench is going to
Yeah.
be fun to watch, man.
Sheesh.
Oh
I
yeah.
agree. As
Yeah.
a Spartan, it hurt my heart that Livers was so good right away. It really did.
Yeah.
But as a
Love it.
Pistons fan, that
Love
should
it.
trump all, Laz. Come on, where's your commitment,
Go
Laz?
green. Go green
Ooh.
always.
I respect that commitment,
I
man.
don't owe
As a
them any
fan.
more money, but it's just like we
Last
still
season
got a
we was
financial
cool. Man,
relationship.
we was cool, man. You was my guy, man. I don't know now. I don't know, Laz. I don't know,
Oh,
bro.
I didn't mean to do it to you dudes. I'm sorry.
Oh man, no man, I'm seeing go green all in the comments. Man, get out of here, man. Go blue,
There
go
we,
blue,
there
go
we
blue.
go. There we go.
Let's go.
No, my
Okay.
team's color is superior. No, my team's color is
Right.
superior. But saying that, go blue.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh man. Yeah, while we're on it, man, let's go teal as well, right? Colors
Go
matter.
Oh,
Oh, JD.
I don't think JD likes that too much.
I think that's the perfect segue. That's
Yeah,
the perfect segue. JD.
Switch to me when I'm feeling a little upset.
No,
Over
JD's
under
just like me.
1
JD
teal
remembers what the
season.
teal actually means.
Let's
Thank
get
you.
JD
Yeah.
knows that the teal is code for pain and suffering.
We're bringing it new meaning. That's what this season's
Man,
all
I
about.
hope so. I certainly hope so.
Expansion Team Teal.
Yes.
Yeah, but JD, man, listen,
90s
brother,
expansion.
tell the people a little bit about yourself, man. You know what you're up to and what we're about to get into.
Well, let's see. Obviously, I just showed that I'm a little bit old. So I've been a Pistons fan for a long time.
OG.
And way before Twitter, there were message boards. Oh yes, you got that dial-up, you got that sound and whatever. Message boards, lots of. Then there was a Pistons message board, and it evolved over the years. And so somewhere like 10 or 11 years ago, I decided, since there wasn't that much to look forward to for Pistons seasons, that I would have a contest and keep people engaged over that time. So I came up with an over/under contest for the season, and try to relate, a category for each player, something like that, and throw in a few just stupid questions, and always a gimme. And then there used to be a prize for whoever won, and it was usually I also do photography and some graphic design, and I'd make some kind of graphic for the champion. And over the last few years, kind of up the ante. A couple of years ago, I gave away tickets to a Pistons game, and this past year, with the help of Kool-Aid, we did the same thing, but then also added gift certificate to. You want me to mention the business?
Oh yeah, it's on you,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
get some cheesecake, basically. Also, the winner got cheesecake too. He hasn't collected on it. Actually, the guy who won, his name's Lou Stefanik. He has been also a guy that's been on Pistons message boards for years. Also on Twitter. I don't have his Twitter handle right off the bat, but he's got a newborn on his hands. So I tried to get him to join tonight, but he's way too busy right now. But so something to keep people engaged. I took it to Twitter. It's gotten bigger by the year, and in the last couple of years, we've done sort of a similar to this. I'll present the categories and get feedback from other people that are in the chat, and then people enter and see how the season goes. And some predictions are way off. Some are right on the money, and it's just kind of fun to see, and keeps the season interesting. So for this episode, I decided to bring a couple of questions for the panel and for anybody that wants to play. So this is the abbreviated mini summer league version, and my first question, which I came up with this about 5-6 hours ago, so it's already changed a little bit, but the question was free agents signed by Troy and re-signing don't count. And the line I had was 1.5. So you kind of addressed this a little earlier, whether you think he's done or not. So if you don't think he's done, then you pick the over. But if you think he's done, then we're good at 1. But just curious what everybody thinks about that one.
Yeah, and everybody, man, listen, as these questions are coming off, definitely put it down into the comments. And JD, if you have that link, we can definitely try and put that into as well.
Do you by chance have it? Because
yeah, I can. Let me see.
Yeah, can you post that in there?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So they still got 9 million left in space. I think they signed one more guy. I'll go over, but I think it's another Kevin Knox level signing, as to where we don't think this guy will make an immediate impact or any type of impact at all. but I do think they need a little bit more shooting, and they'll still be on the hunt for a little bit more shooting. So I think they go over and they sign one more guy.
Anybody disagree?
I got the over as well.
Yeah, I
I
think
got the over as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
All right.
Good call.
I'm going with the
Okay. The
But
next,
wait, let's make it more difficult. If it's the over, I'm not going to ask you the
Yeah.
player, but what position? If they sign another player, what position would it be?
I'd say a point guard. Just another veteran guy that can help in the locker room.
I am going to be an idiot, and I'm going to guess the player. Dante DiVincenzo, welcome to Detroit.
you're beating it to death. Get that DiVincenzo.
Ooh.
I'm
I'm gonna say a wing. They need another
forward.
wing.
Yeah.
Wayne. Yeah.
Sharp shooting forward if it's available.
Tony
Dante
Snell,
DiVincenzo.
A
come
while
on
back,
down.
I thought I don't even know if they have the money for
Tony
this.
Snell, they're
but
great.
Oh yeah,
I
Tony
was thinking
Snell.
another vet, sort of big that could be more of a mentor type, but like a Thaddeus Young type. Just a whatever KG vet that hits the three on occasion. Although he kind of had a drop off this last year, so he might be done. But somebody like that.
Y'all saying
okay.
Andre Drummond in the chat. Y'all
I'm seeing that, bro. I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, next question. So this one's Summer League related. 20-point games for Ivy in the Summer League, and I put that line also at 1.5.
Over.
So they play 5 summer league games at minimum, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going the under. I think they're going
Who was it?
I think once they see what they got on him, they're not going to try and push him too hard. I think his minutes might start to get a little limited just to have him fresh for the season.
What
I'm
the
gonna
hell?
go-
You got 3 or 4 months. He wants to win Summer League MVP. Give me 3 20-point games from Jaden Ivey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2, but I definitely think he's gonna get more than 1.
I think he wants he wants to make a statement. So
Yeah.
Did you see that they are going to play the Pacers? So there's going to be that
that matchup.
Matt
Bro, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
also, Luka Garza got signed by the Blazers Summer League team. First game we play is the Blazers. Jaden Sharp versus Jaden Ivey. It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Ivy's
Yeah.
gonna
Ivy's
absolutely
gonna-
obliterate Luka Garza in the pick and roll.
I'll definitely be texting Frank during that one without a doubt.
Yeah, he's gonna go off.
Shout out
he's gonna go
Frank.
off.
I love Frank.
I'm gonna go under on Ivy 20-point games. I think he probably has 1, but they only play 40 minutes if I remember correctly. And like they're not. It's not a Jaden Ivey showcase. They're gonna be looking at a whole bunch of dudes. So I'm gonna say under.
All right. Next one is games played in the Summer League by Killian. And once again, you may have heard this number before, 1.5.
Over.
Over?
I think
It's not 5. It's not going to be all of them.
I think it's going
I
to be all
just don't
5.
know. I just don't know if they, a lot of people on Twitter are very upset that he shouldn't. He's in his 3rd year. He shouldn't even have to play in the Summer League. That's,
King.
I think
here's what I'll
he's
say.
got stuff to work on, but
I need to hear King's thoughts after Shine too.
Well, here's my thoughts, JD, and I'm going to try to be as nice about this as possible. But I'm just going to say it. He might be in year 3, but he doesn't have the luxury to not play Summer League. I think he's in the type of situation where he needs as many reps as humanly possible. So he's one of those guys, just as much as anybody on that roster, he needs to be able to go out there and show what he's working on and improving in his game. And also, for himself, it's a confidence boost of perhaps getting some buckets on some G League guys. I mean, let's be honest. Like it's more of that Oklahoma City Thunder game that we saw where Killian was able to initiate more offense, get confident, like get in a groove. Let's see more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
will go up again. Go ahead.
I think it's definitely a prove a year for Killian. I mean, I think if he lives up if he comes in and plays like the 7th pick that we got him for, I don't know if we're even drafting a Jaden Ivey. So I think this is the year that he really has to come in and show his worth, and I think he's gonna be on full display in the Summer League.
Yeah, 3 years from it's a difference. 3 years, Sadiq Bey, and 3 years Killian. When you look at games
Oh
played,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
So obviously, yeah, he probably does need as many reps as he can possibly get. And I'm tell you the truth with the young guys that we just brought in. I think you probably want to have somebody out there that's somewhat of a veteran play with those kids.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point, man. To have somebody out there on the court, especially if Cade, Sadiq, and those guys aren't going to be there, you need somebody who can be. We call Cade, a connector, and I think that Killian can be that for the summer league roster, while he also gets to learn this game a little bit more. I don't even know if it's necessarily confidence that's lacking, or it is, but I don't think it's just from the sheer fact that he doesn't think he can play the game of basketball. I think it's from the fact that more than a lot of these other foreign players, we saw that he had the skill, but he legitimately looked miffed at the American style of game. Just at sometimes how tough some of these guys were even playing the game. And Casey remarked at that. Coach Casey talked about him needing to get a little bit tougher, him needing to learn, how these guys play here to play pickup American style basketball. And we all know what those are code words for. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And I think that as he kind of realizes, bro, these people are here to take what's yours. I think we see a little bit better Killian. And Summer League is one of those places where you got people who are trying to earn their place. You got people who are trying to earn a spot back into the league when you get some super vets that come back in there. So I don't think, like Sean said, that Killian's at the luxury to not play. I wouldn't be surprised if they shut him down to like 3 games if he was doing extremely well. But I want to see him play selfishly. I want to see him play. I want to see him go out there and look good. I want to see some improvements. I want to see it look like, he's finally getting a full off season. He hasn't gotten that yet. He hasn't gone and gotten a full training camp. He's either been injured or had the pandemic or shortened season or this or that. This is that first time for Killian. So look, I want to see him definitely.
Yeah, I know this might be something people disagree with me on, but I think Killian and Ivy are going to be your guard lineup off the bench. And so I want to see that pairing in particular get a lot of reps and run in Summer League.
And Livers.
Right, I do disagree with that.
That bench unit.
Yeah. JD's with me, and Livers, and Duran,
they can put that whole bench unit in and build something there.
Yep, you want that chemistry
and
early.
Some of those games are going to be against tougher competition than that game at OKC, honestly.
Bro,
that was not a good.
It's weird for Killian to be the vet because he's only 20. He looks like he's 11, but
he's our longest tenured Piston.
I know, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Old man.
He's only like
really only 20? He's still 20?
He's
oh my god, he is. That's crazy.
Wait, what just happened?
What happened?
What happened?
I don't know. I have to see if this is just someone saying it. Maybe they're just saying that stuff.
Oh, the Gorgie Jin guy? Yeah, he's making it up. I don't know where he's getting that from.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
Wait.
Keep going. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
All right.
Hey, back Killian Hayes.
Okay.
Like 5.
Next one is blocked shots for Duran in the Summer League, and I put that before I give the number. Let's just get some thoughts about what it might be.
So he averaged like 2 blocks a game in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at. 2 blocks.
2.5, I would say, is the over under.
Now, JD, do you want total over all 5 games or per game?
Yeah. Yep. Total.
Okay. Okay.
Carry 1.
So, so I think like 8 or 9 would probably be good over like a 5-game sample, adjusting to like the speed of the game and the fact that he's playing shorter minutes and whatnot. I like 8 or 9, so 8.5. Can I get an 8.5 over under, JD? Where am I at?
You're kind of making me look good because the line is 8.5.
Yes.
Whoa.
All right. I'm gonna go over.
I'm gonna go over.
I'm going over.
Yeah,
Over.
I love Duran. Duran's amazing. So I'm gonna be optimistic about Duran.
I see him getting.
Let's go over.
Well, now that I know he might be going up against Luka, I might have.
Yeah, I was just about to say
You
that.
gotta up the line a little bit.
For Luka.
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna go under.
You're gonna go under?
Really?
Why?
I'm gonna go under. I just call me bold, but I just think summer league. Like I'm not saying he's gonna get plenty of blocks. I still think he can get like a solid amount of blocks. But I just think we don't know. Depending on how we're doing towards the beginning, it could be a situation where he gets shut down a little bit towards the end. I think the big is kind of with him in particular, he could be sharing minutes with Isaiah Stewart there. We don't really know how much he's going to be playing in summer league. Give me the under.
Whew. Yeah, I think he's gonna dominate in
yeah,
the
listen,
interior.
man, I don't feel good about it. If there's
Man,
anybody I don't want to
I
put the
think
under
I
on,
think you
it's
see
Jalen
more-
Duren. I
I
don't
think
feel
you see
good.
more Koprivica than you see Stu. I don't even think Stu is gonna play.
This is
Copra Pizza.
for me. This is solely for the competition of this game.
Okay,
My gut tells me the over, but I'm
not mad at it.
Okay.
I'm not mad
the
at it.
game.
Okay.
There's no foul. You can't foul out in the summer league too, so he can go after everything.
That is a
Oh well, in that
great
case, give me
point.
the over. Never mind.
That's
I
a great
didn't think
point.
about that. God,
That's a
dang.
great point.
Totally forgot
Yeah.
about
I
that.
forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me
maybe I should've made
the
the number
quadruple over. He'll be at
He's gonna be playing
25.
volleyball, man. He's gonna be volleyball spiking everything and going for everything.
Yeah. All right.
It'll be interesting to see what Duran though, man, because I know that all these guys are super competitive. They love their teammates. He wants to play more minutes than Beef Stew.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna go out there and try to own everything he can. Now, if he has the skill set to do that, it's the summer league, man. Like if he with his body type, his skill set, and everything, what we saw from college, I'm looking forward to seeing him definitely hit the over on those blocks.
Yeah,
definitely, man.
6'11", 250 at 18. Sheesh.
Hey,
7'6" wingspan. 7'6" wingspan, guys. Let's not forget that.
yeah.
He does not sound like an 18-year-old.
No, not at all.
I keep being shocked at it. Every time they said it, I'm just like this the way he carries himself, the way he speaks, the work ethic that we can kind of perceive. He definitely has a little bit more maturity to him and a lot more of that Troy Weaver-esque, type of a player than I originally thought.
Yeah,
that's the stuff you can't see when you're just kind of looking at, if you're just looking at films or even full game tape, you're not able to actually see who the player is. Those NBA interviews, man, like how big of a role they must play for GMs and teams and such.
Did you guys see
they
how
talk
he
about
just
picking the right person, right? It's not picking the right player; it's picking the right person first. So
he really wanted to be here. Did you guys see how he just held on to the jersey? He was just holding on to the jersey. He was taking it with him everywhere he went.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he really wants to show out as a Detroit Piston. And I think
strapping to it in the limo and everything, dude.
Yeah,
hard, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to Carl, by the way. That mixtape he made. For Duren,
I saw him in here.
I would
Carl
run
was in
through
here
a
earlier.
wall listening to that
was
thing,
fire.
dude. Oh my
That was
God.
fire.
That was dope.
What you got for us next, JD?
Let's get it.
All right. I kind of wish I had Sean's mic for this, but times a broadcaster yells out, "Magasti!" on a dunk.
Sean, do it. Do it. Give it.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
I'm sorry. They yell out what?
You got to see the roster. There's somebody named Magasti.
Oh, Magusty. They yell out, Magusty! We could even do like old timey radio, like, count that baby in a foul. Goes up from the layup. Oh, what a fine dish there by Gervin.
Gervin, though.
Things there. Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron McGusty. Goodness.
See, Dane
Yeah.
says 0.
So you may guess that the line is a little low on this, so it's 0.5.
Under.
Give me the
Under.
over. I want to believe.
Okay, who's got the summer league thing in front of me? You can tell me how tall Magusty is.
6'5",
Okay,
Oh,
I'll take the
you
over.
get
I'll
there?
take the over.
190.
I was gonna say, come Google him and make sure he's a real person.
Right.
Right.
It's like let me make sure I'm not saying this like 5'11" dude is gonna have this insane dunk real quick.
Right. Hey, I'll go under.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go under.
Sean, you got a
All right.
request too, bro. Hold on.
I
Let
want
me
to
see
see
where they go.
Oh.
Ivy with the win.
Ivy with the windmill jam.
everything's
Fantastic
windmill.
finish from Ivy. What a
That's pretty good.
dynamic dunk from a young dynamite kid. Talk
'Cause every-
special, George. George, count
'Cause
that
everything is
baby
a
in a
windmill.
foul.
Everything's a windmill.
That was good. Somebody said
I
McGusty
hope-
balled
I
out
hope-
in Miami.
George.
Okay.
I hope
Yes,
he, I hope
right.
he balls out.
Bring my Greg
Damn.
Kelser.
Right.
Talk
I don't
about
think
great
that was a
play
windmill
on the
jam.
defensive end there,
That
George.
was just a regular dunk there, George.
Oh no,
Well,
that was
Greg.
a windmill.
We gotta sit George down. We just gotta sit George down and be like, George, this is a windmill dunk.
Oh
This is
no, you're
tomahawk
on
dunk.
crack. That's a windmill.
It's like these.
Yeah,
these are not the same, bro.
He's
These are not.
convinced. It
Somebody's
doesn't matter.
gonna
I
let
think
him
at
know.
this
I
point
mean,
he's
I don't know.
convinced.
I still love that video of when water gets sprayed in the direction of George Blaha, and he just goes,
Recoiled like a vampire.
"Yeah, it's my favorite." Long
Yeah,
gun.
One more.
Bro,
Long gun,
He got it.
corkscrew gun.
What is a
count
cork
that
okay.
baby in a foul.
Hey,
So
Blaha,
everybody's
yes, go.
everybody's hitting
Yes,
the over
he is.
hard on that one.
Yeah. We want to believe.
All right.
McGusty. So
Gotta
you
have
said
it.
what is it?
McGusty.
All right. The next one sort of in that realm. Combined Boeheim points.
Ooh.
What are both Boeheims going to contribute?
Is this another total or is this a per game average?
Total.
Okay.
Both of them total.
So what are the Splash Brothers gonna do?
They're actually going to get some playing time like late in these games.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Huh.
That's what I'm thinking about too.
So people were trying to tell me that like one of the buddy is actually good, like not like NBA good, but like was actually legitimately good in college.
Like summer league good.
Yeah, like summer league good. And he could shoot. And he's gonna have the green light because he's a Boeheim. What Troy's gonna like make him like go away? Like absolutely not.
Yeah.
So
He's
Yeah,
75.
He's basketball royalty.
Ooh.
oh my
And
So
it's
I put it at 29.5.
Oh, I'll take the over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
So you said combine both of them, all 5 of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about 6 points a game.
that's 6 points a game.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's,
I gotta go
How do you do
over.
this, JD?
That line's
You
too
going
low.
over?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say so too.
All right.
That's 2 threes a game.
We
I think that's good.
gotta make it like what's 8 points a game? Like 40?
But if
like,
one of the
like
brothers-
39 and a half.
But if one of the brothers is the bucket and he's getting like 9, 10 a game, which would be reasonable in summer league, and the other one is just like 1 or 2, that's where it gets interesting, man.
Yeah.
That's where if both of
The
them are
Gretzky
hoop a
brothers
little,
conundrum. Absolutely.
Right.
then I can see. But I don't know,
There was
man.
a-
30 points. You want to think you can go over, right?
Over for me.
We'll see.
Nah, boy. Jay and Ivy, he coming for that MVP. He like, listen, Boham, I don't care about you. I don't care about your name, bro.
JD
Right.
playing 32 minutes a game.
Ooh.
There you go.
Let's see.
All right. So that leads kind of with the Jaden Ivey talk to my final summer edition of the over under contest is summer league titles won by the Pistons. So
Over under
yes.
1.
0.5.
Yes. How about
So
you
they're
guys?
0.5.
either they're going to get it or they're not going to get it.
Yeah, I think they win it.
Sean talked about this on the podcast this weekend where we all came in last year like, oh man, K's gonna lead us to the summer league championship. And
Oh,
that did
yeah,
not
we
end
did
up
that.
happening.
Yeah.
And so I think the safe play is to go under, but my heart wants to believe it.
I'm
does.
definitely going with you. Give me the field all day. This is Sacramento Kings, Portland Trailblazers like season.
That's yeah.
Yo, remember last year when Portland brought like a bunch of 27-year-olds to summer league? It was like, why is Kenneth Fareed here?
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess. My heart wants to. Obviously, I'm gonna believe. I'm gonna root and all that, but you got to go with the under. You got to go with the under. I mean, if Ivy absolutely balls out, absolutely in those first 2 or 3 games, I don't even think he sees the 5th game, honestly, or a championship game. I don't know, man. Keep that kid safe. Let him work out with the team. Bring him back home if he's proven himself. But I don't know, man.
what about
Under.
the culture?
Here's what I'll say. Listening to some talk. I listened to that episode of when of the Bud and Cardigan when they brought in the head coach of the Motor City Cruise. And one of the things that he emphasized was how Troy Weaver doesn't just care about winning at the NBA level. He cares about winning at the G League level too. And in my opinion, there's that expectation set throughout the culture. So I guess the one caveat I would give is if the Pistons come out hot those first couple games in the summer league, like specifically if they like are 2-0, Ivy's playing well, they're feeling good, I would say there's like a different attitude. It all entirely depends where you're at after the first couple games. Because if you're like 0-2, you know, Ivy's struggling. Really, at this point, you're just getting him out there for some reps. Maybe hope he looks better towards the end, and then like you just wrap it up and wait until the regular season. But if you come out firing those first couple games, I think the organization would want to see those young guys go out there and go get it. I think they'd want to see Ivy and Duran get some important run, and I think for their development, one would make the argument that they would care in that case because it's. Even though whether you win or lose, it really doesn't affect, your franchise's trajectory. What it would be is a building block, right? I mean, that's the thing you would hope it would be. So that'd be my case of my case of what you'd want to see, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Sean. I'm still salty over that year that Bruce Brown had the triple-double in Summer League and they didn't play him in the playoffs. Yeah. It's like, why? There's no reason not to. Like, let him get some more run. And they just pulled him instead. And so, you're right. The winning absolutely matters. Building blocks absolutely matter. It's good to build chemistry. It's good to win. Guys feel good when they win. Like you want guys coming in on a high note, especially when we don't think they're going to be very good this year. So it's good for them to build up some of that winning experience. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look at what it did for the Sacramento Kings this last year. I mean, look at all the momentum they had as a franchise.
Shout out to Lewis King.
Man, we got people wanting Cade to play, but hey, we got to rehash that again. That boy might get 5 minutes.
5 minutes in game one. That's how you gonna see.
Listen, dog. He down there to literally. What could Cade Cunningham do in the summer league that would change your opinion of Cade Cunningham? Like literally, what is the best case scenario of if Cade Cunningham plays in the summer league? There's literally nothing that can come out of it.
No. If you shot like 60% from three, I'd be like, oh, okay, now we're in there.
If he gets foul calls, that'll be encouraging for.
Hey, bro, that's a good.
There you go, Deuce.
That's a great one, bro. That's
how to draw a foul.
No, I mean, real talk. I don't know what's going on there, but when I was doing this article about Jaden Ivey to be out tomorrow, I was looking at his free throw rate. It's elite, man. And if that translates to the league the same way that it did for John Morant and Dwayne Wade, that
was a great point.
But if Cade Cunningham's free throw rate, man, was 16.3%, like to put that in perspective, Jaden Ivey in college was almost at 50%, 49.7%. That means this boy was getting a free throw attempt every other field goal attempt.
I do want to bring up.
If Cade Cunningham got Jaden Ivey's, bro, he would be getting an additional. If he had Jaden Ivey's free throw rate, he'd be getting an additional 5 free throw attempts a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's wild to me, man. Hit that man some more free throws.
Our friend Sean Corp is in the comments, and I saw a couple comments from him saying, legit question, are the Pistons the youngest team in the NBA? And then the second comment said, set your expectations accordingly. And I think that's valid to bring up and say, listen, let us remind where we're at of, even though this team is going to be more talented this season, they're still going to be insanely young. So when we talk about like realistic jumps, like we're talking about like what realistic expectations are for this team. I heard people say like 45, 46 wins like after the draft. And I'm like, slow the down, please. Yeah. Like honestly, the goal is to get over 30 wins this season. To me, that's the goal. Like getting that next step. Like if we could go from 23 to 35 wins, like a 12-win jump, 10-win jump, I'd say it's a successful season.
Yeah, and I think
growth, and you see stability from Ivy, and you see those developments, and you're maybe in the realm for a playing game. You maybe get to be in one playing game, even if you lose, it doesn't matter. Like even if you're in the ballpark, you know what I'm saying?
And just building momentum from post All-Star last year, just being competitive this year. We may not win 40 games this year, but if we're competitive and we're showing improvement, internal growth, I think that's a win for this team.
Yo, Arthur, pull that comment up from Arthur to say.
is worth. Have you not seen freaking
Oh.
Paul George tear his knee in 4 pieces during a useless scrimmage game for the United States basketball?
Bro.
Like, listen, brother,
Listen.
this is why you don't throw guys out in useless basketball to potentially get them injured when it literally doesn't mean a thing, and you're
Look, y'all.
your franchise player.
Look.
Like, what the fuck?
And y'all gotta understand something with Sean.
hold
Sean is
on.
sitting here
Yo,
like,
hey,
y'all.
Hold on. Go ahead, King. I got the same message. Go ahead, King.
Andre Drummond just signed to the Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. I just got the same notification.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Wait, no, pull up that comment from Arthur Sase.
You said a comment from Arthur?
Arthur Sase.
Which one?
That one. That's the one. It's like I've seen some Cam Whitmore clips. Like that dude's legit. And that makes me excited about the next season of this Pistons team, because even if we follow the plan that Sean's laying out, we win more games, we win more games. We're not as bad as we were last year. And that means we're picking at like 7 or 8 instead of 5 because of like the lottery luck or whatever. Like there's still a lot of good dudes in this draft. Like absolutely. And so I think you can still pick up a player in next year's draft and not feel bad about winning 34 games in the meantime. That dude is legit.
Deuce, I think you said it right, where I don't think it's a matter of wins. I think it's a matter of being competitive. Like, yeah, obviously winning close games can show a lot more going forward, but being in close games says a lot about a young team also, where you're playing a Milwaukee team, and if you lose to them by 12 points, it's a hell of a lot different than losing to them by 35 points, where you're actually competitive, and in the game it shows something where, yeah, maybe you don't win 35 games. Maybe you're still in that 24 win range, but it's how you win those games, and more importantly, how you're losing those games that can show how good this team can actually be going forward.
Right.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It is about what this team is doing and how they're doing it, more so than how many wins or losses. I said I wanted this team to be personally in that kind of 32, 33, 35 win at the top level range. I'm hoping they can get there. I believe that then you can start talking about them as an up and coming team rather than just a rebuilding team. It's gonna be an interesting thing though, this upcoming season. But to speak to Sean's point earlier, man, when he blew this gasket, you got the comments on fire, bro.
This guy made a great counter argument. He said, "Don't be a bitch about it." That's a great man. Listen, great basketball take, brother. You know the game of basketball. Don't be a bitch is great basketball analysis. So I just wanted to say, seriously, right now. You know exactly what you're talking about. You know what? Man. You can take my job at Woodward. I will send you my routing number and everything, so you can take my income and everything, because you owned me in basketball takes there. Great job.
Hey, look, Kevin Knox here.
Immaculate.
Let's go. But no, I mean, what this shows is this, guys. Y'all got to understand something. The level of patience is going to be much different. I've realized that the ways that people view this thing, you can tell the errors that they have seen, man. Listen, y'all know how I've started this Let's Get Sean to Detroit fund. We need Sean to be able to actually see a freaking winner, y'all. He's trying to protect Cade. Like, seriously. I would blow
listen, man.
When Grant Hill went down, look, I saw like the tail end. Like I had t-shirts. I was sitting on grandma's lap looking at the bad boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when Grant Hill got here, I wish we babied him. When he went down, my whole everything, my heart, my Pistons fandom, everything just took a little bit room. I remember that ankle injury, and to see him out there slugging around, injured in like multiple, in multiple playoff games and such. Dog, man, it sucks, man.
It was like Isaiah Thomas like
bleeding through the freaking bandages and socks and such. So look, part of me from that is just like, ooh, keep Cade safe. They already talking about he goes to Grant Hill. I get it, Sean. I get it. I want to see Cade play, but I get it, brother.
He's our first number 1 overall pick in 50 years. 5-0. The last one was Bob Lanier. Like you said, he's the best player that we've had since. All right, Sean, let's rest Cade for 2 months when he injures his pinky finger. Brother, shut the up. You're just not getting it, brother. Like literally, the summer league. Let me tell you, it means as much as whose line is it anyway, where the games are made up and the points don't matter. Because the summer league literally means nothing. That's why LeBron James doesn't play in the summer league. That's why Paul George doesn't play in the summer league. That's why Kawhi Leonard doesn't play in the Kawhi hardly plays in the regular season, but he doesn't play in the summer league either, because that's why, because it literally doesn't matter. So if there's no point, why do you throw in your stars and your older players who don't need the time to develop, which is what these games are for? That's why you put in your rookies. That's why you put in your young players.
So let me ask you guys a quick question. A touch-on topic, but I still think it's still relevant. Looking at the Pistons win-loss over-under for next year, with the Nets debacle that is happening right now, do you think the Pistons do have a chance to sneak into the playoffs next year? Potentially. Or do you think they're more a fringe play-in team? Because we've heard the East is a new beast, but we're seeing a lot of things shifting in the East. So what do you guys think about that now?
With the Pistons, they don't have enough talent or impact players right now.
Yeah,
they have players that I believe can develop into that. Like if they would have went out there and obviously just dropped the bag on one of even DeAndre Ayton or Miles Bridges, I think that gives them that impact player, that kind of win now player where the expectations are raised and you have the talent to do so. Right now, I just don't think that the talent is there right now.
Agreed.
I think there's just there are a lot of teams that they got to leapfrog over to get to that point.
That's true too.
And some of those teams were right there in the early picks in the lottery, building up. So
right.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised. I'll just say that. I think they're going to improve, but maybe not to that extent.
Yeah, I'm with JD. Charlotte won 43 games last season and lost their first play-in game. It's like, I think the Pistons are going to come nowhere close to winning 43 games. And so, like, when you look at it like that, like, yeah, they're not going to sniff the play-in. And that's good. That's the plan, as Sean has talked about earlier.
I wouldn't say it's good, but I wouldn't say that it's a bad thing. I don't think they go into the season thinking like, 25 wins.
That's fair.
I'll be happy. Yeah. But it won't be looked at in a negative way. I think the only way the season is looked at in a negative way, minus injuries, of course, is if you don't see them playing competitively. If you see them giving up or just not developing at the right trajectory.
I disagree though. I do think I'd be disappointed if we only won 25 games. I think there's got to be the balance of this team.
He said 33.
What's that?
Yeah.
He said 33 games.
Oh, he said 33. Yeah, I just keep mishearing stuff. You know what? Abe, I just keep doing this to you. I'm just gonna shut my mouth. I like 33 games. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a good number.
I'm gonna shut my mouth and sit back.
And this comment on the screen is exactly what I was actually referring to the Pistons about. I don't think this person understands. They made a big jump last year because they also had several all-star caliber players, people who were already kind of established. If the Pistons could bring in one or two of those people, yeah, you would see them make a big jump too. But they don't have Jared Allen on this team right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have, they don't have Colin Sexton, Garland. They don't have these guys on that squad right now. Now, do they have?
They don't even have like a Karis LeVert.
Right. You're right. And that's the thing. This team, for as much as we've overvalued talent in the past, and now we have a Troy Weaver here who's given us some really super shiny toys. If we overvalue, Luke Kennard and Stanley Johnson, we got Sadiq Bey, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey right now, Jalen Duren. They're going to be good, but, I think that they will have an opportunity to battle for that play-in. But the East has gotten tough. To everybody on this panel who's talked about it, it's gotten tougher. It's gotten something that I think that we're all underestimating. But the Pistons, if they can get some more talent, which they don't have to rush and get right now to compete for what purpose right now, just chill out. They're gonna be straight.
Bucks just got Joe Ingles too. That's a kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah.
So what's up with the Central, man?
Hey, how about the Atlanta Hawks? That's
gonna be an interesting backcourt pairing. I want to see how that pans out for sure.
That's a move. Hey, and one real big thing that happened today that somehow went pretty under the radar that does affect the Pistons. We all talk about how going into next offseason, let's make that big move. Let's go get Devontae Booker. That's not happening anymore because he signed that 4-year max deal with Phoenix today.
Oh,
That's true.
I wasn't expecting Devin Booker to come to Detroit.
I said Devontae Booker, and it's clearly Devin Booker because I'm really tired.
That's all right.
No, you're good. You're good.
I don't know. Hey, maybe they just signed that future deal because they know that, Troy Weaver's going to sign a couple pieces that can match, in this sign and trade for Devin Booker, bring him back home.
That's been Kool-Aid's dream.
I'm never going to talk to across 2 years, 1.5 years running now. Yeah.
It was a fever dream anyway.
I'm going to keep dreaming it, brother. Look, Jabari Smith is shattered. I'm happy with Jaden Ivey, though. I'm very happy with Jaden Ivey. But, hey, Devin Booker, I see you, bro. We don't mind paying you that money. In a few years, when we're ready to win, we're going to bring you on in with that sign and trade. We got you.
I like Kool-Aid making the pitch directly to the camera like you're talking to Devin Booker. You got Devin Booker on FaceTime.
Gotta sell it.
He pulled a Stephen A. Give me the camera.
Yeah. He's also still going to find a way to walk out of the draft with Jabari Smith, even though it was a week and a half ago. He's still going to be a Piston somehow.
No, bro, I'm not meme. I'm sitting there like that little boy, like.
Yeah, exactly. You're that.
Right. I'm
with the
still
calculator,
trying to figure it
like
out, brother. Sean, you got another. Your friend in the comments asked. So, Cade Cunningham not gonna play preseason either.
is that Emerald guy? Hey, I do have something for you. The double bird salute, buddy. Take 2 of those and bring them home to mama. Have a great day.
2 birds with 1 stone, huh? Got you.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Nah, he's relentless right now, brother.
Dude, this guy is so hell-bent on this point. He doesn't get that the fact that it's literally standard procedure that your first-round pick, that your second-year player doesn't play in the summer league. That literally Evan Mobley's not going to get run in the summer league. That Scotty Barnes isn't going to get run in the summer league. That literally almost anybody else isn't going to play in the summer league. Like, how many times do I have to explain that this is literally standard procedure? That
Bro,
the guys that play are the ones that need to play. Like, should I spell it out on a piece of paper? Like, how many times do I need to go over this point over and over and over again? It's not me being a pussy. It's me understanding how basketball works.
I'm like Michael Jackson with my popcorn right now.
Oh my god!
I'm just waiting for Sean to literally spell this out on a piece of paper and just put it up. Like
I just seen so much of myself in Sean just now over the last 6-7 years. Welcome to my world, buddy.
It's like what are y'all even saying, man?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, here you go. Mr. Privy said it best, man. It's like, look, dog, people clued in are people clued in.
Shout out to Privy. Yeah, good point, bro. Good point. That's my guy.
Absolutely,
that's
man.
my guy.
Yeah, but hey, I think we covered a lot. JD, are you?
Yeah.
You're good too, right?
I'm great.
Sorry, JD. I'm sorry. I'm not normally this fired up or this mean. I promise.
I'm completely entertained.
It's
yeah. So we can share the link to that. Did you already post that in the chat?
I shared it in the chat. I'm gonna also share it in the I shared it in the live chat. I'm also put it into the comments on Twitter and YouTube as well.
Okay, and so if there's a tie, we'll just do a little drawing, and see who wins it. I don't have any tiebreakers.
And definitely, just again for the people that are on, JD, if you want to update people on what's the competition, and I'm gonna post a link so you guys can be a part of it.
Over the summer version, the mini version, mostly dealing with summer league, Pistons over under contest, and Kool-Aid will share more about that.
Yeah. Look, with the over under competition, I love it. I think it's a great way to keep Pistons Twitter not only connected but engaged. It allows us to be able to really, really put our takes out there and see what we know about the team, man. When I first started doing this, it was more or less like, yo, I want to be right about everything. Then you start to see how other people are looking at things, and it really, really helps the way that you look at the game of basketball, the way that you look at different players. So I think it's something fun to be a part of. Join the community. We're going to have some fun giveaways and such, and you can get a taste of it before we actually start the bigger one with when the season starts. So
once we hit the preseason, there will be at least 40 questions in that one.
Yeah.
And,
it's fun. It's fun, man. So definitely, man, stay tuned. Any last
Once,
words?
McGusty.
Augusty.
I love it, man. No, shout out to
Augusty.
JD for being on. Thank you for organizing this. I know it's a lot. Shout out to Abe and Laz for joining the stream. As always, man, to Deuce and King, part of the crew. Man, I love these Thursdays, man. It's one of the best times of the week for me now. I love it. My goodness, Emerald, and he's just not letting it go, bro.
I'm looking forward to getting back on here once summer league starts.
Oh yeah,
That's gonna be fun.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we might.
That's gonna be
Thanks for having me.
We're gonna be doing some live
yeah.
stream watch alongs of From Half Court for a lot of those
yeah.
games. So be on the
Yeah,
lookout.
Sean,
Oh,
I want to get your reaction when Cade plays 40 minutes in game one. That's what
Hey, listen, man. If he does play, if he plays for like a few minutes, I'll be glad I'm wrong. And if there's a vision for it, it's just not standard. But what I would tell you is don't be surprised if Cade's literally gonna play for like 2 minutes and maybe suit up for like a half of a quarter.
Brother,
Other than that, you're not getting much of Cade.
they
He's
asked if
not.
he's standing up for these games. I don't think y'all understand. Like a lot of us on this panel probably haven't missed these games in a long time, or have DVR'd them, or have gone back and found some way to watch them, or get every clip or every bucket.
Right.
Like
I still got that Knicks game on my DVR.
Yeah, like we make songs about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're writing articles about it. We're doing vlogs. We're just fans. We're just looking at it because it's what we've been doing since we were little kids. So
yes,
we will keep y'all clued in. Everybody on here, man. Everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
real quick, bro.
Yeah,
real quick. Sean Corp, who dunks first in summer league, Jaden or Jalen? So is Jaden gonna catch a breakaway dunk, or is he gonna give a lob to Jalen? What do y'all think?
I think Jalen Duren gets a putback dunk.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd go with
Jaden Ivy, man.
I go Jaden.
First step.
I think Duren's getting it.
Jaden off the tip, or Jalen with the putback.
If I'm on Laz's side on something, I feel good about being on that side. Laz and I are on this.
I was saying Ivy.
Oh,
I think Ivy gets the first dunk.
If I'm not on Laz's side, I feel like I'm on a good side.
They run that first backdoor cut for Jaden Ivy. He runs through the lane and yams on somebody.
I think he's going to be looking for that. I think he's going to be hunting.
I think
that's true.
I think Ivy's going to lob one to Duren.
Okay.
I think
what happens when it's Kevin Knox though.
I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be Koprivica first. That's who I think.
Wow.
There you go.
Ooh,
off the bench.
Koprivica.
I'm so ready to
hard like
bro.
old pizza.
Second round pick from last year.
Y'all all got it wrong though. It's gonna be McGusty.
Oh God.
Ooh, there we go.
And we're gonna get the ball twice on the same dunk. So I'm like, McGusty for the dunk, McGusty for the dunk.
McGusty with the dynamite slam.
Sound old.
Man, I love this stuff, man. Straight up. But
Count that baby in a foul.
Oh man. Look, we're gonna be checking in. Tune in to all these guys on the panel. Definitely check out From Half Court. Check out What We're Pistons. Check out Everything King. Check out Last King. Abe, JD, can you please tell the people where they can check into your coverage and everything else that you guys got going on? We'll start with Abe first.
Yep. So you can find me. I'm part of the Undroppables network. It's a fantasy football network. That's kind of my main focus in life outside of putting people away for life, I guess. Fantasy football, that's my thing. Check it out. DFS_docket, redraft stuff. It's everybody loves fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it. JD, what's good, brother?
So you got JD's sports tweets. I had to add that S after the JD because there's a JD sports clothing thing, and I kept getting complaints about them not getting their gear. I can't do anything for them. So JD's sports tweets. Also at JD Scott Photo, I do photography, also shoot sports, and for that matter, jdscottphotography.com. That's a
talented man of mystery. Hey, and last, brother, I know you're not a guest anymore, but definitely go out there and let the people know.
No, absolutely. underneath my face right now at Last Chance at LAZCHANCE. That's the Twitter. If I post anything else, it will be posted through Twitter. I host a podcast weekly called the Detroit Bad Boys Podcast. We just had Mr. Sean from Half Court on that podcast.
Oh.
That was an enjoyable experience. You should download that and subscribe and listen to it and check it out.
Nice.
That's dope. Deuce, King, brothers, anything to say? As some of the statesmen of the table talk.
Hey man, I'm looking to get back on with you guys next week. Like once summer league starts, I really want to see how a lot of these comments are aging. So, once summer league starts, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Hey, bro, JD got the receipts.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm excited for all the overreactions we're gonna have to endure.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Hey, can I say one thing about Kevin Durant real quick before we head out? Because I don't think it's being brought up enough. Earlier this week, Kyrie Irving said, "Hey, I'm coming back to Brooklyn," and then immediately Kevin Durant says, "Hey, get me the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
That's a great point.
NBA drama, man. Ain't nothing better.
That's a great point.
Peace.
Interesting
King,
point.
brother.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Only thing I just want to say is thank you to Troy Weaver.
Yeah.
Thank you, Troy Weaver, for being who you are and doing what you do, for making sports fun again here in Detroit, for making Pistons basketball relevant.
Preach, man.
Again.
Yeah.
The buzz around the city is absolutely crazy right now. I mean, the engagement that I've been receiving over these last 2 weeks has been amazing. So, and also shameless plug, I don't care. If you go to my YouTube channel and look in my shirt locker, we have started some Troy Weaver shirts. We trust Troy. So you can definitely check that out, man. But yeah, we trust Troy Weaver, man. Trust the process, Pistons fans. Be patient. We want to build something sustainable that's gonna last. So let Troy do what he does, man. And like I said, you can always find me here on Thursdays, or you can find me on YouTube and Twitter. Man, shout out to everybody that's doing this thing for the Pistons, man, because we've been through it through the thick and thin. So very depressing times we've just come out of before Troy Weaver. So shout out to everybody that's doing it out there, man, and peace and love to everybody in the comments.
Yeah.
Sean Court.
Yeah.
I love you, Sean Court.
Right. Exactly. You hit that one on there.
John's got it down right.
There we go.
Shout out Detroit Bad Boys, man.
Hey, Kool-Aid,
Sean.
where can we find you, Kool-Aid? We talked about everybody else. Where can we find you?
Well, no, I was about to definitely close out with Sean, man, and I wanted to definitely shout out first some of our other members, man. Definitely of Woodward Pistons and Woodward Sports. Jeff, Freddy, Andrew Jonah,
who ducked this live stream, by the way.
Yeah. Easy,
Ooh.
Spence, Maddie, man, the whole crew.
Yeah.
Am I missing
Notorious flake, Jeff Iafredi.
Yeah, Lexi, shout out Lexi.
Lexi,
If I
for
miss
sure.
anybody, I definitely apologize. Anthony, Pistons talk.
Yep.
That dude, man, he continues to just be a savant, man, a prophet at this basketball stuff, man. So definitely shout out to them. And hey, stay clued in. What we're Pistons, we got a lot of fun things in the works. I know Deuce and I, we just got started with this In the Zone. We got some other things we're gonna get started. Got some people on here I'm gonna be reaching out to try and get some things started really, really soon. And obviously with Sean, the craziness never stops, man. We're gonna get these fast breaks going soon again.
Absolutely,
We are.
man.
We've had to get through a lot of this other stuff, but it's coming back. But
Yep.
Hey, look, man. Obviously at Detroit Kool-Aid, but most importantly, it's about the team at Woodward Pistons, at Woodward Sports. And please follow everybody on here. Subscribe. Let's keep building this network. Is there anything else we should say, Sean, before we close out?
Absolutely, man. Just thank you so much to everyone that tuned in, all the positive people in the community, everyone that's bringing the good vibes and the good energy. Thank y'all so much, man. Super pumped for the summer league and for free agency and everything else we have coming up, man. It's a good time to be a Detroit sports fan. And yeah, man, just super excited and just really, really pumped for what we have going on right here in Detroit, man. 100%.
I'm excited, brother. I'm excited. And listen, I'm like, yo, I know I've been calling you Blanco Mason, and that's not going away. But hey, I'm so glad to know also you can handle the other side of it as well, Mr. George Blaha. We got you. We got you.
Absolutely.
You gonna take us out? Take us out on something, brother.
Yeah. Hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We thank you very much. Be sure to tune in and subscribe to Woodward Pistons as well as Woodward Sports, because we are the place for Pistons coverage. Also, all this bull, the comments about me not being able to hit a jump shot, please, you haven't seen my jump shot. It's wetter than the Mississippi, motherfucker. So anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time on Woodward Pistons Table Talk, baby.
Bro,
Catch you
let's
guys
get a
later.
George Blaha auto-tune George Blaha, bro. Let's get that auto-tune George Blaha.
Go mad, baby, in a foul.
Ah, you are a fool, bro. Good
Love
night,
it.
y'all.
Good night.
Be sure to everybody.